They found the body of a 7-year-old girl in Florida. Cause of death? Dengue fever. Transmitted by a mosquito that bred in a water bottle cap left in her backyard. A bottle cap. Her parents had mosquito spray inside the house. They had a citronella candle on the porch. They did everything the product aisle told them to do. And it still happened. Now, I am not telling you that to scare you. I am telling you that because that family did not know what you are about to know. And if they had known it, that little girl would still be alive. What I am about to show you has been deliberately kept off the shelves. Not because it does not work, because it works so completely that the $11 billion mosquito product industry would collapse if every household in America found out about it this week. It costs $1. It has no chemicals. It cannot be patented. It runs 24 hours a day and never needs a refill. And right now it is sitting in a small pot at a nursery near you with almost no label on it because nobody paid to put one there. I am not revealing what it is for the next few minutes. Because how you place this thing is the difference between it working completely and it doing nothing. And I need you to understand the full picture first. Stay with me. Because by the end of this video, the mosquito problem in your home is permanently over. Let me ask you something uncomfortable. How many summers have you been doing the same thing? Buying the same spray, lighting the same coil, plugging in the same diffuser, and still ending up inside by 7 p.m. because outside became unbearable? 3 summers? 5? 10? And every single year, the products get a new label, a new scent, a new claim on the front of the bottle, and the mosquitoes do not care. They never cared. Because those products were never built to make the mosquitoes stop. They were built to make you feel like you were doing something about it. There is a catastrophic difference between those two things, and the company selling you that $18 spray understands that difference better than anyone. Here is the biology they count on you not knowing. The active compound in most commercial repellents works by creating temporary sensory interference, a chemical fog that confuses the mosquito for a limited window of time. That window is shrinking. Over 50 documented mosquito populations worldwide have now developed measurable resistance to DEET, the primary compound in your spray. It is in the peer-reviewed literature. It is known. And not one product manufacturer has put a warning on their label because that warning ends the purchase. You are spraying a compound that is becoming biologically obsolete in real time, on your skin, on your children's skin, while the people who sold it to you watch and say absolutely nothing. That is the industry you have been trusting with your family's safety. And the natural solution that mosquitoes cannot ever develop resistance to, because it does not fight them at all, it makes you invisible to them at a sensory level, has been sitting out of frame this entire time. Deliberately. Before the 1950s changed everything, this was not a secret. Across West Africa, across rural Southeast Asia, across the farming communities of Victorian England, there was a plant that every household knew. Not from a scientist, not from an advertisement, from their parents, who learned from their parents, across generations of people who lived close enough to nature to pay attention to what actually worked. They placed this plant near doorways, around sleeping areas, along the edges of outdoor spaces, and the mosquitoes stayed out. Completely. This knowledge crossed continents and survived centuries, not because people were told to trust it, but because they watched it work with their own eyes every single summer. Then the chemical industry arrived with its post-war manufacturing surplus, its advertising budgets, and its single most powerful message that modern meant synthetic and natural meant backwards. Within one generation, that centuries-old knowledge was gone, replaced by a bottle, replaced by a refill, replaced by a business model that required your problem to never be fully solved. The plant did not disappear because it failed. It disappeared because it was too cheap, too effective, and too impossible to monetize. And the industry that replaced it has been collecting $150 to $300 per household per year ever since, from families who never knew they had already been handed the answer for free. The plant is Pelargonium citrosum. At your local nursery, it sits under the name mosquito plant, or citronella geranium. Ordinary looking, soft textured leaves, a faint herbal scent if you brush against it. Nothing about its appearance tells you what is happening chemically in every cubic foot of air surrounding it, while it sits there quietly doing nothing visible. The leaf surface is packed with microscopic glands holding 2 volatile organic compounds, citronellol and geraniol. As these compounds release into surrounding air, they do not simply smell unpleasant to mosquitoes. They intercept the 2 specific signals a mosquito uses to hunt a human being, your carbon dioxide trail and your body heat signature. Both of those signals vanish inside the chemical interference these compounds create. The mosquito's sensory system goes dark. It is not driven away to come back later. It is not irritated and circling. It is navigating blind with no target to find. You are invisible to it. And a target that does not exist cannot be bitten. This runs every hour the plant is alive, costs nothing to operate, and because it hides you rather than attacking the mosquito, there is no biological mechanism by which the mosquito can ever adapt to it. The arms race that is making your spray obsolete simply does not apply here. Your starting cost is $1 at any independent nursery. That is the only money this solution will ever ask from you. Everything after this is free. Placement is what separates a decorative pot from a functioning perimeter. You are building an invisible wall, and the architecture of that wall determines whether it holds. Put plants flanking both sides of every exterior door. Line the outer edge of your seating area with particular density at the corners, because mosquitoes work inward from the perimeter. Cluster 2 or 3 plants directly near wherever people sit still for extended periods. A stationary breathing human is the clearest signal a mosquito can track and you want. That signal completely buried before it travels. 4 to 6 plants locks down a patio. 8 to 12 seals a full backyard. This is engineering, not gardening. Every evening before going outside, brush your hands lightly across the leaves of each plant. Not crushing, just skin contact. The surface glands rupture on touch and release an immediate concentrated surge precisely when you need peak coverage. 30 seconds. Your entire perimeter activates. This one habit is what the people who say it did not work for them almost universally skipped. From one plant, you produce 20 for free inside a single season. Take a stem cutting 4 to 6 inches long, strip the bottom 2 inches of leaves, place it in water or moist soil, indirect light for 1 week. Roots appear in 10 to 14 days. Pot it, give it sun, and in 4 weeks it is a fully operational new shield plant. Repeat monthly. Your perimeter compounds. Your cost stays at 0. Before first frost, bring plants to a bright indoor windowsill. Reduce watering through winter. Restart cuttings in March. You enter every mosquito season already ahead, not scrambling to react when it is already too late. $300 a year. Every year. For a problem that never goes away. That is what the current system costs you, and that is the best case scenario where nobody in your family gets sick from what those mosquitoes are carrying. $1 exits you from that system entirely. One plant that replicates itself indefinitely, that runs continuously without chemicals, that operates on a mechanism mosquitoes cannot evolve past, that gets stronger every season you maintain it. The math is not even close. Get one plant before this season peaks. Set the perimeter exactly as described. Brush the leaves the first evening and then just stay outside, and let the silence tell you everything. Drop a comment below telling me where you live and what your mosquito situation has been, and send this video to one person still standing in a store aisle reading the back of a spray bottle, because the answer they are looking for is not on that label. It never was. Now you know where it actually is.